Hey, hey, everybody. Welcome to a very long, I guess not long awaited, but it's been a hot minute. I'm Mandy, for those who are not sure who I am, and I'm one half of Salt and Sass Games. Yeah, it's been a hot minute since I've been streaming. So today we're going to stream, I think it's in the background there, the animals of Baker Street. I said we, as in there's more than one person. No, it's just me today, everybody. So, yeah, so for those who are unfamiliar with my live streaming solo, I am not a solo gamer, but I figured, hey, I've got some games on my shelves that could probably use some attention. Or in this case, this game I've discussed on the podcast, the Salt and Sass podcast. So thought I'd show some people how it's played. And I try to use solo games that I'm comfortable with because I'm very uncomfortable playing solo games. So let's just start by saying this is not a tutorial. I'm just having some fun. And if you're in the chat, you can help me solve this mystery. Hey, middle class Joe. Is this the same Joe that I know from Diablo, or is this a different Joe? Either way, very nice to meet you virtually. Thanks for joining. And I know that a lot of people are probably working. I'm off because I'm in Canada, and we had Canada Day fell on a weekend for us. So I got Monday off, so I thought I'd do a stream. So, different Joe. Okay. Nonetheless, very nice to meet you. Thank you for joining. So, we're going to solve a mystery today. So, I'll probably need your help because I'm very bad at mystery games, even though this is like family level. I figured let's do case one. I didn't want to ruin it for anybody else who might want to play the animals of Baker Street later. So I don't know when you jumped in, Joe, or if anybody else is there listening. It's been a while since I've done a stream and solo streaming. I just do it to kind of chat with everybody, but again, repeating, not a tutorial. I got a new dog, so that's been keeping me busy. So yeah, so now I'm going to try and do at least one stream a week solo. I'm going to try, and we'll see how it goes from there. I did enact closed captioning, but it does seem that it's not fully working, unfortunately. So this is something I'm going to have to play around with. So I apologize if anybody was expecting closed captioning. I'm working on it. It does seem to not be working. Tangipu, hey, thanks for joining. Thanks so much. It's good to see you. It's nice to see people that I know when I play solo. You know the drill. You know me and my solo adventures are rough, so we're gonna try our best to just have some fun. So yeah, so I'm not keeping y'all because I know y'all are probably working on your lunch break and you've taken time to join me, so I appreciate it. We're gonna be playing the Animals of Baker Street. So there's the rule book, the boxes over there, and guess what? If you're in the chat, you're gonna help me out today. So let's pop on over, and please feel free to jump in if you have a suggestion. I am very open to it. All right, so let's go here. All right, sweet. So I've kind of set it up. I have a camera here. This might be a little frustrating, but it's just so I can put the cards here so I can remember to read them for all of you. And then here is the main board that we're working on. So the goal of it's so cute, right? Like, look at this. Hold on. Let me see if I can put my little camera here. Loop. Might be hard to see, but all the little animals are in this little kind of standy thing, and then those are their cards up here. So you can see that they match. So literally, so it's a game. If you play solo, you can play it solo. It's probably like family level game. So if that's something that you're interested in, this might be good for you. Or it's not like exit level. So if you're looking for exit, this potentially may not be the game for you. But that's okay. I like a light mystery here and there, and it's something that I can comfortably play solo. So hey, Jeremiah Blob. Love the name. That's like how I feel today. Blob. Yeah, Laz looks super, super cute. So I like the art. Like it's so fun. I don't really like spiders, but like this one's just so cute. Look at it. Anyway, like I'm gonna pet the spider. Hello, Lex Retro. Thank you so much for joining. And I feel like so many people join during the day. I kind of like sneakily do these solo streams during the day so nobody watches and sees how bad I am at solo gaming. Um, but Joel, I appreciate it. You're gonna help me solve the mystery. So let me explain what we're gonna do today. And if there's something that you see that you're like, oh, explain it more, or you want to help out, please put it in the chat. I need your help. I'm very bad at mysteries. By the way, I'm very okay with saying what I'm good at and what I'm bad at. Mysteries, not so good, but I have fun. Okay, so we've set up the board, and this is like the daytime side of the board, and we've got these little spaces you'll see here, which we're going to put our little marker because we're going to visit and ask all the questions. And these are the characters that we have, and they all have special abilities, and we'll go through those, what they do, because they have specialty things that they do. And we also have, let me just pop that back over here, the location cards, which match what's on the board. So if we go to a location, we're going to take a card from this deck and read what the location is. We are going to be doing the case of the missing mouse today. Ooh, fun times. So I'll do a little reading and I'll try my best to do some fun voices. No judgments, everybody. And we have up here, this just tells me areas that we can't visit. So this is kind of setting us up. We have these little clock tokens, and that's kind of our timer. So this is every time we visit a location, we're going to put one of these clock things on there. So if I went here with my little marker, I would put a clock token to show, hey, I've been there. But it doesn't affect us going there again. We can go there again. What else did I miss? Dusk event card, that's if we don't finish what we're supposed to be doing, then we'll pop into that. So we're just going to kind of leave that where it is for right now. We don't need to worry about it. That's kind of it for now. So let's start with that, and I'll explain as we go. I know you see another deck of cards up here. Those will come out if we get the right answers. All right, so there are some things you're going to note when we get to them, and it's based on these cards matching I guess using their abilities in the right way. Okay, so let's start off. So that's the basis of the game of how to play. Pretty straightforward. Let's read the story, shall we? I'll try my best to put on some good voices here. All right. So we'll put that here. I hate having this empty, so we'll just kind of leave the little face there because it's just so cute. Look at it. Gosh, I love puppies. I love all animals. All right, here we go. The case of the missing mouse. So here's the introduction. Every week, Cherrywood, so that's the little mouse here. Every week, Cherrywood treats herself to fresh new bed sheets. Sheets of paper, that is. They're soft and bouncy and cozy, and the smell of ink makes one pleasantly dizzy. And they are selected, collected, and sliced up into nice neat strips by the sharp front teeth of Edna, the mouse. Edna is the best at this job. She's been doing it for years. Every morning she makes beds, and every afternoon she gathers scraps of paper and fabric discarded by humans to make the next day's beds. She lives under the floorboards. Oh, there we go, right up here. Under the floorboards, beneath Sherlock's room. And Sherlock's room is a treasure trove of discarded paper. Sherlock stares at paper a lot. It's one of those strange things humans do, and Sherlock does it with special intensity. Once a week, Edna starts her workday with Cherrywood and is always precisely on time. But this morning, tick-tock goes the old clock at the top of the stairs, and Edna still hasn't appeared. Cherrywood scuttles to the stairs to look for Toby, who was chewing on his marrowbone. "Toby, I think we've got a new case on our hands." "Our paws," says Toby. "Our legs," says Calabash. "What's the case?" "Edna's missing," says Cherrywood. "She didn't come to make my bed this morning, so I think something's happened to her yesterday." "How beautiful," says Toby. "A missing mouse. She might have been kidnapped for ransom." "Or brutally murdered," Calabash says. "Murdered?" Cherrywood gasps, covering her eyes with her paws. "Or perhaps she's simply still asleep," suggests Toby kindly. Calabash shrugs his 8 shoulders. Only one way to check. Let's shake Clay and Briar awake and begin to investigate. Aw, Lex Retro, thank you. I have a nice voiceover for children's books. So to be fair, because I don't think everybody knows, I am a teacher by trade. So I did used to teach children, and anybody who knows or has kids, you know, and I don't have kids, but I taught kids, you get to like do the voice thing. So thank you. That's a very nice compliment. I very much appreciate that. So that's the case of the missing mouse. These are characters who are going to help us find, what's happening here, the missing mouse. And yeah, so now we get to start off by visiting locations. All right, chat, let's see. And usually these cards are kind of pulled out. It's just for room purposes. I can't pull them all out, but we have different areas of the board. So wherever there's a circle and not one of these tokens, we can go and visit. So Jeremiah, happy to be a child today for story. You know what? I like that. Story time. We're having story time with the animals of Baker Street. Yay. See, I love this. Y'all are making me so comfortable to do this. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. Okay, where do you think we should visit first? I'm thinking. So we've got the grocers, we got the apothecary, we've got under the floorboards, Sherlock's room, we've got the street, we've got some kind of like sewer areas here. We've got a little bunny hole here, a tree, a bush. Where should we go first? And please, I'm going to ask you all the time, and then we can go and do a thing. So let me see, just make sure I got my rules in front of me, make sure I'm not doing a thing. And let me see my locations. The tree? All right, let's go to the tree. Zip. All right, so we're going to move our token here. I'm sorry it might be a little hard to see. I'll try and point it out. And let's see. Okay. No. Bear with me. I just have to find the cards. Oh, it would be the one that's hanging out on the table. Does that say the spider looks like Lucas the Spider? Who is Lucas the Spider? And I feel like I should know this, but I don't. So somebody please tell me, or Tangibu tell me. I don't know who that is. So we are in turn now going to visit the tree. So the card matches there. That's where we're going. So let's see what it says. So you'll notice there are some symbols, and we'll talk about that in a second. So it says the tree. So in the old, here, I'll pull it up here. In the old oak dwells the squirrel Rossetti. Mouse, frog, bird, thing, he squeals. Hello, hello. Hello, Rossetti, says Briar. Listen, Edna has disappeared. Edna, disappear! Oh dear, oh dear! And the squirrel swivels around so fast he is nothing but a flaming spiral. Did she make her bed yesterday? Briar chirps. Yes, bed, yesterday. Do you know if she had any mortal enemies? Asks Calabash. Enemies, no, but new friend. Excited to see new friend. A new friend, says Cherrywood. Who? Don't know, didn't say. Upon which Rossetti dives out of sight in a red blur. So that's the story that we've gotten so far. Oh goodness. Hi. Oh, Eclectic Camel. Hello, hello, David. Nice to see you. Is this an animal murdering other animal story? No, actually, I think the humans are doing the and I'm gonna say the wrongdoing because it's not always murder. So, and Tangipu's telling me who Lucas the Spider is. It's a children's TV show and it's adorable. I have to look it up. I actually don't know this, so now I feel like I should know it. Okay, I'm gonna go look it up. It sounds very cute. David has a dark mind. Oh my gosh, I'm the only one who hasn't heard of this show. Lucas the Spider was a YouTube short CGI cartoon about a jumping spider who doesn't eat insects. Oh, okay. Well, I like where this is going. Okay, now I'm gonna go look after because I shockingly don't know. Humans are the worst. Yeah, we definitely can be that way sometimes. I agree. Okay, so you'll notice on the card there are some things on the bottom. So what we're trying to do is kind of match, and it's kind of hard to see. This camera's being real difficult today. But some of them have numbers and some of them have a time token. So that reminds me, I need to put a time token here because that's where we visited. Also now we need to determine who is going to investigate the tree of our character. So I'll quickly read their description. And if this is like too much or boring, I can skip it, but just for the first time, we'll do it. So Cherrywood, who we've heard speak on a few occasions here, kind of narrating a little bit. Cherrywood is good at searching things. So searching, locations and finding things others might miss. And her mousy teeth can nibble through almost anything. So keep that in mind. Remember, we're at the tree. Then there's Clay, the frog, has a way with words and can be very persuasive. When he's not talking, he's probably dreaming about eating fat flies or swimming around in a nice muddy pool. Sounds delightful. Then we have Calabash, who we've heard in the story. Calabash is a forceful, strong, and frankly quite scary. She is good at pressuring suspects into talking and anything requiring brute strength, and she's not bad at spinning webs either. Okay. I love that I gave Calabash a deep voice because I wish my voice were deeper, so I'm here for it. Briar is agile, quick, and stealthy. When he doesn't want to be heard, he won't be heard, and of course, he can fly. Yay! So now I need to determine, we're at the tree, and just quickly looking at the tree, the squirrel is saying, this person disappeared, Edna's disappeared, but didn't really say what was going on. So now we need to determine who is best suited to investigate that. And then we're going to take that card, flip it over, and see if it matches any of the things on the bottom here to give us more cards, or it could potentially push our time. So Okay, Lucas the Spider is on my list. I will check out Lucas the Spider. Did I say I'm so glad y'all are here? You're making me so much more relaxed. I was so stressed this morning, so thank you for being here. Okay. This is now where I'm like, this is where I choose poorly often. So let's see, who do we want to investigate this? So he's very excited. We don't want someone that's like forceful, I don't think. Clay, I don't know if we need someone persuasive, and please jump in if you feel like there's somebody I should use that I'm not using here. Cherrywood is good at finding things, but we don't necessarily need Cherrywood to search the location. And Briar's good at getting in and getting out, doesn't need to be stealthy. I feel like none of these are perfect, but maybe, oh, I don't know. I feel like if we use Calabash, let's see. Forceful, strong, and scary. Do we want to scare the squirrel, though? The squirrel doesn't seem like they're being not cooperative. All right. Oh, this is where the ADHD kicks in and I have to make a decision. Okay. And, oh gosh. It's great at searching and finding them. Okay, maybe we'll do Calabash? Okay, I'm going to do Calabash. Don't judge me. It's probably not the right choice, but I'm doing it anyway. Okay, so now what ends up happening is you flip over, we'll put it here. You flip over the card, and it has these kind of the bottom of the eyeglass, magnifying glass. And then what we're going to do with the location is we want to put it here and see if it aligns with anything. Okay, so you match the two arrows. Wow, this was a poor choice because none of these align. So it was a bit of a wasted effort with Calabash. However, we can revisit this location if we want. So it was not a hit, no extra time, but also no cards. So, I mean, I suspected that was going to go that way, but I figured let's give it a whirl. All right, so y'all need to pick the next one because apparently I suck at this. All right, so now that location, we visited that location. It's fine. So it can just hang out or we can put it back because we're not going there. All right, chat, where are we going to next? Where's the next location? So we've at the tree. We can come back, but let's try somewhere else. We have like kind of sewer 1 and 2. We've got where the rabbit's hanging out, a bush, the street, the grocer, the apothecary, Sherlock's home under the floorboards. Throw one out there. We'll go visit. I know there's a bit of a delay, but I like playing this with people. It's nice. I mean, I could solo it too, but then that's boring. I mean, I guess I'm kind of soloing it. If not, I'll pick something, but there are no wrong. Apothecary, yay! Okay, let's go there. Zip. So we're going to go there, and because we're visiting there, we're going to take off. I'll leave that one there. It's a bit messy. Time token goes there, and now we're going to find the apothecary card. So you can get the next one ready just in case. Sewers are always fun. Okay, we'll do that one next time. All right, so we're going to the apothecary. So I got to find that card, which is here. Beautiful. All right, let us read the apothecary. All right. The shop is eerily silent. Perhaps no human is ill at this time of day. In a jar on the counter, the leeches are lazily sucking on the glass. Have you seen Edna in here recently? Clay asked the leeches, popping his head into the water. Blood, the leeches reply. Human blood. Well, quite, Clay shrugs. Look at this, says Cherrywood. Those are hairs from Edna's back, grayish and short. She must have been here in the last few days. So this is what we're working for here. Just remember, Edna's a mouse. In case someone jumps in and be like, why does she have long, kind of short, bristly gray hairs? Edna's a mouse. So now that we know this, the shrugs, the leeches I don't know. Apparently that's, my coworkers are like, what are we watching? Yeah, that's right. We're solving an animal case, so not of the human variety, but maybe they're involved. So now we can either question the leeches or we could do a search in the location. So I don't know. I feel like the leeches are not going to really be super helpful because they seem like blood is their thing and that's all they can say. So I don't know. What do we think about searching a location? So we can do Cherrywood is good at searching and finding things. I don't think we need anybody to be quick, and we don't really need to be persuasive because, I don't know. Search? Yeah, I'm thinking too, Tangipu. Good point. So let's do Cherrywood, who is good at searching. All right, here we go. So now we've got Cherrywood. Could this be a win? Come on, we need a W here. Oh, yes! Good job. Yes, see, this is why I have the T. The owl. Okay, we'll do the owl next time, Lex Retro. Sorry, I know that there's a bit of a delay. I wish this was like more real time, so like we could like play together. But please put the stuff in. We'll try it next time. So Cherrywood is a match. So yay! So you can notice that it matches with that one, and it's hard to see there, but it says number 13, which means we're gonna get card 13. Card 13. Oh, it's the last one. All right, let's see. All right, so let's slide that over here. Zip, zip. And this is what card 13 looks like. So it has those kind of bottoms there as well. Okay, well, Middle Class Joe, thanks so much for joining. I really appreciate you popping in to say hello. Have fun at work if it's fun. We'll try to make it fun. Thanks so much. Okay, so this next card here is called Scraps of Paper. And this is considered an item. So if I recall, items are things we can use on another turn. Bear with me. Place it at your current location and carefully align. Ah, okay. Okay, so we can actually align it again with here, like at the location that we're at. So we don't have to use it here, just at a location that we're going to. We don't need it here at the moment, but maybe we'll see. It's not going to give us anything other than what we have. So the scraps of paper says, I recognize Edna's teeth marks on these small pieces of paper, says Cherrywood. She must have cut them up for bedding and dropped them. I wonder where she found them. They smell smoky. So they have a smoky scent to them. So this is something we can use at a later time at a different location if we want. There's no point using them at the apothecary because we've already kind of like gotten the one thing that we would have gotten from that card. Very nice. So happy. Amazeballs. That was so good. Okay. So now we have this item here that we can hold on to use for a later time. You guys are good at this. Okay, so now where should we go next? I think. So do we still want to go to the sewers, according to David? But now that we know we have a smoky smell on the papers, I mean, I think Sherlock's place maybe might be a good place to go because he's got like a fire going on in there, potentially. Or yeah, because there's a nest up here that doesn't really tell us anything. So you know what? We're gonna go that. We're gonna go up here to the fire. All right, time's ticking away here. Don't forget we have our item. So yeah, Sherlock, I agree with you. Perfect. So we're gonna do Sherlock's place. Now that's let's pull a card. So see, this game's not too much, and now you see why I don't mind doing it solo. Although I do appreciate all of your help. It's great. Okay. Okay, we will do the sewer after, I promise. Okay, so this is Sherlock's room, and it says, Edna often ransacks Sherlock's room for scraps of paper, says Cherrywood. Maybe we'll find a clue here. Sherlock is busy staring intently at one of those large paper things humans like to look at. We hobble, scuttle, and scurry around him unnoticed. Briar, in a flicker of feathers, has perched atop the fireplace. So many pieces of burned paper in there, he says. Some even have interesting pictures on them, says Clay, like this one. But as Clay reaches for it, a gust of wind comes down the chimney and sends the paper fluttering up and floating back out the window. Oh, okay. So, I think that's good. So, we want to get the piece of paper that's flying around or whatever. So, I think Briar is probably the one to do that. So, that's the bird, which I think somebody had mentioned earlier. I think Lex Retro mentioned that. So, we can maybe use, yeah, Briar. So, we can use Briar. So, a couple things here. We can use Briar at the location. And then after, if we're like piecing it together if we want, we can then use, and we don't have to use it now, the item at the location to see if we get anything else. But let's start with Briar. All right. Oh my gosh, Briar's so cute. Look at that. I'm sorry, everybody. I really love birds. First time chatter, the Jedi. Hey, thanks for joining. We're solving the mysteries. So thanks for joining. These are our characters we're using to solve mysteries here. So we'll see. They have special abilities. So I'm asking y'all to help me out as we do this. If you need more explanation, I'm definitely happy to do that. Okay, Sherlock's house. Let's take a look. His room. All right, let's put it there so you all can see. Line her up. Come on, baby. What? Okay. See? This is so good. We got another clue here. So number 3, because they match. Un, deux, trois. Uno, dos, tres. Yes, I am multilingual, shockingly. Not fully in both languages, but here we go. Okay. look at this. We got, I'll put it up here so you can see it, another piece of paper. Ooh, this is good. And this is just trying to get more board game streams followed. Underrated category, really. Oh, that's great. I mean, I'm sorry that you jumped into mine. I don't stream as regularly as some do, but I'm happy that you're here. And that's they're super fun. I like to play games with people on the stream, not always, but have the conversation. Some are more tutorial, but if there's anything that I can answer, anybody in the chat, because we have a lot of regulars in the chat that can answer, please let us know and we'll do our best. Oh, you just did. Nice. Okay, so Tainted Grail, the board game, because I know it's a board game. I also have the video game. I have both, but I am very curious. Oh, is it any good? Sorry, everybody. I'm sidetracked very easily here, but I do want to know if this is good because it's one that I was looking at. Drew in lots of people. Yeah, so games like Tainted Grail, like those bigger games, yeah, those are going to definitely pull people in. There's definitely like a group of people who love it, and I think that's amazing. They're so good. So I'll have to pop by and check it out because I do like it. I did get to play um, Elder Scrolls recently. It's not out yet. It was on Kickstarter from Chip Theory Games. So if you like Tainted Grail, I definitely think that's something in the realm that you might enjoy. Yeah. Yeah, so Skyrim, but they're specifically focusing on Elder Scrolls Online is where the basis of this game is. So, yes and no. I'm going to say no because it's specifically Elder Scrolls, but I think you know what I mean. But I do enjoy the video game as well. So, hey, never heard of this game, but animals who are detectives. I'm intrigued. Hello to Live and Dice in LA. So, okay, there's a Skyrim adventure game. I didn't realize that. Okay, very cool. No, this is a different one. Elder Scrolls specifically. So, well, welcome everybody. So yes, I'll do like a quick recap. Sorry for everybody in the chat. I'm very easily sidetracked. We are using our Animals of Baker Street to investigate Edna the Missing Mouse. Each of the characters here have a special ability that helps us investigate. So right now, we've investigated Sherlock's room or area, and we found another piece of paper to add to the item that we have here already. Yay. So you know what? I'm going to actually move these up here. That way they're a bit easier to see for everybody. And we can then use these at a location to piece them together. So that was really smart there doing that. So beautiful. So we've done that. Now, and the question for all of us here, we've investigated Sherlock's room. So now we can go somewhere else or we can use a location to get more information based on these. I mean, I'm thinking we want to piece these together. The problem is it's not worth using at this location because we already have the one clue that's on this card. It's really good for a location that has multiple clues for us to get. Okay. Oh, the air quality. Yeah, so that's yeah, that's right. How is that? Like I'm in Canada, but I'm in Eastern Canada, and it's not as bad. And yes, Tangipu Grocery. We're gonna go there next. But I don't know if anybody else is in the Canada so I'm Canadian for those who don't know. I'm in Eastern Canada. And then there are some people that are in the States as well getting this. So yeah, how is it for you? It's not so bad here for us. So I'd be curious to know. Okay, so we're gonna go to the grocer. I swear, David, we will get to the sewer. It's just we're hopping now. We're in the case. So this is looking pretty sweet. So we're gonna go to the grocer. So we're gonna pull the grocer card. I did not realize it was so busy during the day. I mean, I'm so happy to stream with all of you. I just thought it'd be super quiet. I mean, this is awesome. Okay, so the grocer. Oh, it's still hazy. Yeah. It's some days here not so bad, but I think I'm going outside and I probably shouldn't be. So I totally hear that. Okay, the grocer. So at the grocer's, we find no sign of Edna. Not a trace of her teeth in the imported French cheese she's fond of. Not a paw print in the fudge on the counter. So this is what we have here. And I guess this is good if you have a good memory because you can kind of remember where things are strategically placed on these cards. I have a very poor memory, so I don't remember. But who should we get to search this location? Remember, we also have our clues that we can use. Oh, I forgot to put a little marker there. So who should we use to investigate? So now, just a quick recap. Cherrywood is good at searching and finding things others might miss. Clay is more persuasive, good with words. Calabash is like, a little more forceful. And Briar is agile, quick, and stealthy. So who should we pick to search? Or we have our items to use as well. So, oh, okay. ET 1420, what are the drawings on the piece of paper? Yeah, let me pull it up for you so you can see. Look at you all observant. I'm a little jealous that I didn't notice that first. Okay, so on this piece of paper, I'll try and pull it up as close as I can to the camera, but they're like animals. So there's like a bear, kind of smaller animals. I'll see, hopefully, that you can see that a little bit. Hold it up there for a minute. Ah, you checked out the Elder Scroll game? Yes. We're getting a copy when it comes out, so I'm definitely going to stream that one. So yeah, it looks like, it looks like a monkey or an ape of some sort, possibly an armadillo, a hedgehog, a frog, and a spider. So those are the images I believe that are here. But if someone sees otherwise, please let me know that that's what I think for that. So there are animals on there. Good eye. And I don't ever mean that to be facetious or sarcastic. I'm a teacher, so sometimes it comes off like, very good. That's not what I mean at all. It is amazing because I didn't even notice. And then these pieces of paper just have kind of like burn marks. There doesn't really seem to be any animals or anything on it. No, that's awesome. I didn't even notice. So there we go. Cool, cool, cool. All right. So there's that. So now we have the grocers to investigate. So we could use one of these on here as well. I don't think... I probably should have these flipped over, but for our purposes today, it's fine. Not that serious. I think they're technically supposed to be like this, but it's really annoying on stream, so we're just going to do this so you can see it. Okay? All right. So now we have the grocers. There's not really anything there. No traces of anything, but we need someone who's good at searching locations, so we could use Cherrywood here. I don't think we need the Gift of Gab here. I don't need anybody forceful, and Briar can go in, but it doesn't matter. But you want to use Briar's item? Okay, let's use Briar's item. So that's Briar's piece of paper. All right, so let's put that like that. And let's do that. What? Look at that. We have a match. So for those just jumping in, sorry, that's not lined up properly. It should be. There we go. We want these to match. So if they match, it's a good thing. So hold on a second. It's like just slightly off, but I can't tell. No, I actually don't think it matches. All right, what do y'all think? So I think it's slightly off, but let's verify. I'm just going to use Briar just to see on the actual item so I can see. Sorry, not on the item. There. Okay. You're supposed to put the arrows together like this, so they should look like this. This one is slightly off. There. So, I don't know. It looks a little off to me. I don't know what your thoughts are. I'll let you take a look. I know I could be saying that and maybe, yeah, it's off a bit. That's what I thought. So, okay. But that's okay. So, totally fine. We keep it. It doesn't go anywhere. Okay. But we've done our time there. So, we've used an item which counts towards our time. Okay, which is totally fine. We can revisit. Not a big deal. So that location is technically searched for now, but we can come back to it. All right. I don't know if David's still in the stream. He was really pushing the sewer. I don't know if it has anything to do with the story right now, so I'm willing to hold off, David, until we see. But okay, sewer it is. We'll go to the sewer. Look at that. The chat is on it for you today. So we have two parts to the sewer, but we'll go in this one because this is like the sewer area. And I think it's probably not called the sewer, but guess what? I'm calling it the sewer. It's called Ratsmere or Ratmire, depending on how you'd like to say it. And it says here, we're going to the rats? Even Calabash recoils. No one willingly visits the rat's grim, grey, watery world. We must, for Edna, says Clay. I'm not sure we like her this much, says Calabash. As we slide down the pipes, the cool, humid darkness around us begins to glimmer. Beady eyes watching us. Two of them move closer atop a toothy snout. What are you doing here? The rat hisses. Spying for the moles, no doubt, says a gruff voice from the darkness. We're not spies, Cherrywood protests. We're looking for a mouse called Edna. Why would a mouse come down here? The rat growls. This is our realm. All right, stay in your lane. We get it. Okay. There we go. So Lex Retro saying this is a cozy game I would play at Starbucks or Barnes and Nobles during the fall, right? And you'd probably be okay playing it by yourself. So for those just jumping in, I'm not a solo gamer, as you can clearly see, because I like to, play games with people and chat. And this is a game I totally play by myself, and yeah, like it's just chill. You know what? If I lose, so what? Try it again. So here we go. So this is what we have. So the rats are not so nice to us. This might need a forceful touch potentially. That could backfire on me, but what do y'all think? I was thinking maybe Calabash needs to do it. Yes, it definitely has fall vibes. Like, and the other side of the board has a knight, so if we don't solve it now, it's yeah, we'll get like a night scene. So we'll see what happens. So I'm thinking the spider here. We could use the clay to do some like persuasiveness, but yeah, I'm thinking Calabash for sure. It seems like that's where to go. Yeah, the force is needed here. Oh, yeah. All right, so let's see what Calabash says. Please, Calabash, give us some stuffs. Seriously? Bro. Sorry, I never use it. I've been hanging around my brothers too much. Ugh. Ugh, it's not a match. Boo. I could have felt strong. I felt strongly that the force was needed there, but apparently Ratmeyer disagrees with me. So unfortunately, not a match. What do I feel like that's on a TV show? Not a match. Yeah, I thought it was a good one for sure. Okay, but the sewers, we might have to come back to that. All right, so where do we want to go next? So we went the sewers. Don't forget, we still have these papers. Where could we... I'm still trying to figure out where we could like put these together or get more information. There are also the rats under the floorboard. Maybe. So what other solo games do I like? Oh boy. So I definitely would say I'm more of a solo video gamer. Board games, I'll play like a lot of tile laying games. I like doing solo RPGs. So it's hard to see on my shelf here. They might be kind of covered. I have a shelf back here with some solo RPGs and another one down there. They're like creative writing, so I like that sort of thing. Any tile laying games, I'll be doing one called Beacon Patrol in a couple of weeks or maybe next week. It's a tile laying game. I like games that I can play solo where I don't have to manage multiple pieces. Oh, do I really hate that? If I have to manage multiple, what's what I'm looking for? Multiple characters, I'm not a fan. This is okay because this is just turning over some cards, but like I think I played Lost Ruins of Arnak, which I liked, but solo for me was not too bad. But like those kinds of games where I have to manage lots of pieces, I just forget things and I end up cheating and it's not fun. So will I be doing an Aeon Trespass stream at some point? I don't even have the game actually. So if that's a game, I actually liked Aeon's End. The other one, I don't know if it's in the same world, but if I get my hands on it, yeah, for sure. So we'll definitely take a look. So sorry, I'm getting distracted, but yeah. So if there are games you like, you know what? I have an email address, saltandsassgames. Send me a list of games that you want to see, and if I have them or I can get access to them because I do get review copies. This is a review copy. Then I can definitely do that. So for sure. Okay, floorboard it is. Here we go. Boop. And all right, so we're going to go to the floorboards. Let me pull it up. Under the floorboards. Here we go at Sherlock's address. Hey-o. All right. So under the floorboards. Oh, you all are going to be so excited. Okay, Edna's little bed is made with strips of chocolate wrapping, but Edna isn't in it. Any traces of a violent struggle? Asked Calabash. Yes, a nibbled gooseberry, says Clay. Gracious heavens, cries Cherrywood. Here's Edna's list of client visits, says Briar. The first picture must represent you, Cherrywood. She drew you a picture of cheese. Drew you as a picture of cheese, Clay laughs. Cherrywood is extremely flattered. If I'm first, it means it's today's schedule. Let's look at yesterday's. Here it is. So I'm going to show you the picture. It has a 1, it has a feather, a 2, looks like an acorn, and a 3, a bush. Oh! So let me pull that up to the camera there. I'll give you all a minute to take it in if that's hopefully close enough for you to see. Okay. So maybe that's telling us where we need to go next, maybe? I'm thinking, I don't know. So take a look at that. I'll put that down here so we have it. Down here. There we go. Get there eventually. It might be a little hard to see there. So, okay. Okay. So we've got a piece of paper. We've got 2 pieces of paper here. So we have 2 things we could do. We could use a character to investigate this, or we could use this one here. A little smoke raid. Oh my. Oh dear. What's the little smoke raid? I don't know what that is. But thank you. Oh my goodness. All the things. Raid, raid, raid. I'm so old. I don't know what a smoke raid is, but I think it looks fun and good, so thank you. Marky Mark. I like that Marky Mark. See, I'm old. I caught that. Very nice. Hello, hello. Oh, wow. Not gonna lie, the daddy has very I like that a lot. I'm excited to raid into you. Oh, wow. Weird judge. Awkward raid. Just take care of yourself. Smoky like the little hot dogs and barbecue sauce. This is the most random raid ever. But like my ADHD brain, I'm so here for it. Well, thanks everybody. Sass Queen Grandma, loving the comments. Wow. And the Jedi, Daddy, I like it. Welcome everybody. Thank you so much. Oh, goodness. Smoke raid. Okay, it's smoke. You see, this is what happens when you're my age and the memory just goes and just don't get things. Thank you. I needed the explanation, obviously. Thanks, Raiders, for coming in. If you stay, great. If not, that's okay. I appreciate you. We're solving mysteries. So, animals of Baker Street are doing the things. Oh, Sass Queen Grandma. Oh, you get it then. Like, yeah, this stream definitely screams ADHD with me. So, if you're here for it and you're following and you're still here, I appreciate all of you. Okay, so let's take a look here. So we've got our clue. And so the Raiders, please join if you want to stay. If not, I appreciate just popping in. We have another piece of paper here. I can show you again if you need to see it. It has a number 1 in Roman numerals with a feather, which kind of signifies maybe a bird. Number 2, it has an acorn, which maybe is like a tree, but we kind of went to the tree there. And then number 3 in Roman numerals beside it, it's like a bush, which we haven't investigated, so that might be something as well. So we can either investigate with an item. We've got 2 pieces of paper here. So we can try and potentially piece those together. Or we can use one of our characters here to investigate. Yeah, so Cherrywood is good at searching. Clay is good at being persuasive. Calabash is strong, forceful. And Briar is agile, stealthy, doesn't want to be heard. So yeah, so Marky Mark, what's the general vibe of this game? Baker Street suggests mystery solving sort of game. It looks cute as heck. Yes. And Tangipu, I see it. We're grabbed Cherrywood, so I'll explain a little bit. I'll do it super quick here. So in the game, yeah, exactly that, Marky Mark. We're looking at solving a mystery using animals versus humans. Humans are in the world, but it's mostly the animals doing their own investigations. And what we're doing is we have a board of areas that we're going to visit with our friends. It plays 1 to 4 players. I'm playing it solo, so I manage all of the characters. And each of the characters has a special skill that they can do. So, for example, Cherrywood is really good at searching things. Clay is really good at, being persuasive in his talk. Calabash is like, oh, tell me the thing, so more forceful. And Briar's kind of more stealthy, trying to find things. And we're trying to visit the locations to solve the mystery, which we read at the beginning of the game, which is the case of the missing mouse. So we actually go to locations and you'll see these little things at the bottom here. It'll almost look like little magnifying glasses. And we're trying to line up either items or a character's skills at the bottom to see if they match to gain other clues. Meh, humans, give me more animals, right? That's my feeling on things right now. So that's kind of the vibe, but it is supposed to be Sherlock-y because, Sherlock is in the game, but you don't see his face. You just kind of see his room and things like that. It's super, super cute. So I'm glad y'all jumped into this one because I was worried about streaming it, but y'all have been helping me out in the chat. So this is beautiful, makes this more fun. So please jump in if you want to suggest like we visit a location or use something. I'm here for it. So Tangipu said for under the floorboards, we found another little piece of paper. We're going to use Cherrywood to investigate. We could also use these items, but we're going to do Cherrywood. So we take the card. We do that. And we just line it up. Oh, there we go. So unfortunately, none of those things lined up. So we don't get another clue, but that's okay because we can always revisit and use somebody else. So that's all right. So this means we investigated that. I put a little time marker because we are on a timer. And this goes back to the stack. Okay, I actually think we did pretty well there. So yeah, so let's see what Fierce is saying. Have you ever played the board game Everdell? It has a similar vibe. Shockingly, I have not played Everdell. I know the game. I've seen the game. And I'm familiar with the gameplay. I just don't own it. But I have not played it. But yes, I definitely, it does have like really pretty art and the animals and the vibe. So very popular. And it does seem like a lovely game. So I have heard that I should play it. The amount of games that I get to buy review copies, you think I would, but it is one that is not on my list. So definitely adding it to take a look at. Okay, Tangy, but that's okay. Your luck was still pretty good. So we can revisit other locations or let me see. So we've been to the apothecary, the grocer, the sewer. We went to the tree. We can go back, though. We went to Sherlock's room under the floorboards. I think these are all great. If you want to visit other locations, we have the rabbit hole. We also have the bush, and the bush was one of the pictures there, too, on the card. So you know what? Let's swing over to the bush and see what they say. We got to put a little time token there. And we have clues if we get super stuck. And what's going about Everdell? So I've also not played it. Getting easier these days to not have played a game. I hear you. And then on top of it, I play video games. So it's just like, it's just an never-ending stack of games, right, that you don't play. And Lex Retro, I didn't know it was on Switch. So for those who can't see, I have pretty much every electronic in this corner you can think of. So if it's on Switch, maybe that's a good forum for me to try it. So very cool. Clank Jedi? What? So good. Have you played Clank Legacy? That is the best one. It's so good. I loved it. And I'm not a huge fan of Legacy games. Really enjoyed that one. Looking forward to trying the second one that just came out. So, Tangible, yes, the bush. So let's go to the bush. The bush. I don't know if it's called the bush, but that's what I'm calling it. It is the bush, indeed. Oh, goodness. Okay, let's take a look here. Yeah, so Clank Legacy, if you haven't played it, if you can get your hands on it, it's very good. I highly recommend it. Okay, the bush. Let's see what it says. Morris the Hedgehog, tucked in his bush, is rather unhappy to be woken up. What's that? He grumbles as we wheeze through the brambles. Sorry to disturb you, Morris, Cherrywood whispers. Say, did you see Edna yesterday? Morris yawns, revealing a piano of spiky teeth. No, and she was supposed to make my bed. I'm very worried because... His eyelids slid down. Because what? Calabash presses. Do you think something gruesome has happened? No, Morris murmurs. Hibernation starts soon, and I need new bed sheets. Look at these. They're covered in shreds. It is true. Then again, his body is covered in bedding unfriendly spikes. Morris rolls into a ball and snores loudly. So maybe Morris is the hedgehog we saw on that last location. So now we can take a look and determine, do we want to use an item here? Which I don't know if it makes sense because they're burnt piece of paper. I don't know. Or do we want to investigate with one of the characters? Okay. And I'm glad to see here that people are checking out Clank. It's very good. The Legacy version is good, and you can replay it. And there are like little expansions. And then there's a new one that just came out on Kickstarter like couple months ago, maybe. That one obviously won't be ready yet, but you can play the other one in the meantime. So Tangible, you want to try Cherrywood's item? Awesome. Yes, thank you for helping me because I'm like, I have no idea. Okay, so let's try the scrap of paper here. So let's put that. And unfortunately, it's not a match. But that's okay. We don't know until we try. That's okay. So we're going to put that piece of paper back. The bush has now been visited, but that's okay. We can always return to it. And there's that. Okay. So we've got other places to look. And oh, Marky Mark, that's a good question. I know. I was kind of like a hot mess there for a while. So is this a holiday special stream or are you planning on doing more daytime streams? So today, yes, it just so happened because I work for the government, so my holiday was pushed to today, which is Monday. But I actually have every second Friday off, and that's normally where I try to do streams during like lunchtime or my lunchtime because I know it's not the same for everybody. And I definitely find it's really busy during the day, which is great. And I'm happy to have people join me. So this is wonderful. So to answer your question, yes, I'm hoping to do more. I'm planning another one. I think I'm off this Friday. So either this Friday or next Friday, I'll do Beacon Patrol, which is another solo game, which is on pre-order right now. So if you want to take a look and see if that one interests you, yeah. But I try to do shorter games because I know people have lunch today. I'm just chatting and stuff. It's a holiday, so it might be a little bit longer. So thank you for asking. Okay, so maybe we need to. Oh boy, we're running out of time. We only have about 5 markers left, but we can get some clues if we need it eventually. I think we're actually not doing too badly. Ah, Mark, you're on East Coast Canada. Perfect. Well, there you go. So we're on the same holiday. Awesome. Very cool. Let's see. Ah, the new dog. Thanks for asking. He is very comfortably relaxing with the other dog in his little basket here. So he is doing great. Thank you. Ah, E.T.'s from Montreal, Quebec. It's pas français. I try to be bilingual. I should speak more French more often. My teacher's probably like, Mandy, speak more French. So working on it. Ah, okay. I try. Je sais. Mais mon français, just très. It's not très mal. Je parle un petit peu. Mais je préfère d'écrire en français. I prefer to write in French. Sorry for those who don't speak French. My French is okay. I prefer to write. My speaking is comme ci, comme ça. It's so-so. So there you go, ET. You got to join more streams and help me with my French. Okay. So where do we want to go next? We have the rabbit hole. Going down the rabbit hole, story of my life. We could investigate that, or we can revisit another location. AT, you are 100% right. I do speak French at work. My supervisors, actually, most of my team is work. I supervise a team that's bilingual, so when I speak with them, it's just I wish I could speak as well in French as I do in English. I think that's the frustration. And as a teacher, I think I'm a lot harder on myself, but I try. My brother speaks French. His kids, he lives in Montreal, so his kids' first language is French. So I have no excuse, none whatsoever. Oh goodness. Okay, let's see. All right, what do we want to do? What do we want to do? Let's we can go to a new location with the rabbit hole. Tangipu, you've left me out to dry here. You have to help me out with the location. Or we can revisit. I'm just trying to determine. The fire was really good. Just trying to see who we can get to investigate these. At what location the papers can be put together. We also have the road we could do here. You know what? Let's pop into the road and see if the little horsey friend here has found something for us. All right, so let's go to the street. I said the road, but I meant the street. La rue. Marky Mark, gonna do some post-stream self-care. Oh, no, that's awesome. Thank you. And self-care is so important, so I appreciate you popping in. And yeah, absolutely. Lurk away. Thanks for coming in. All right, so let's take and see what the street does. Briar lands on the head of Baruch, the mayor, and cranes his neck. Baruch stares up at the upside-down bird. Hello, Baruch, says Briar. Did you see Edna anywhere yesterday? Seeing mice is difficult when one wears blinkers, replies Baruch pointedly. But she brings me lumps of sugar most days, and she didn't yesterday, and hasn't yet today. Baruch looks a little sad to find herself suddenly on a diet. She gets it from the grocers, the mayor continues. After visiting her clients in the park, she goes to the shops and to Sherlock's room looking for paper. Please do find her. She's a kind soul. Baruch gnaws on her bit and sighs. Also, I like sugar. I think we gathered the sugar part. Okay, so I actually don't know how much is going to happen here because it's kind of already told us things that we already know from visiting the other locations. So I mean, if we get something that matches, we could be wasting time here. We could try an item. I don't know if that's going to be useful. Maybe one of the pieces of paper to see if that makes a difference. Maybe. I mean, at this much, what do we have to lose, really? We could also use one of the people here to chat with them. Poor Clay hasn't had a chance to chat at all since we've been doing the stream, but... Okay, so the papers themselves can't go together. So sorry, the question that Tangipu asked, sorry, my captions are not working, so I'll repeat myself here. How do we put the papers together? So this is what Tangipu's asking. Great question. We are supposed to use them at locations. So we could, in essence, use them at this location to see if it tells us more information. And I think that's it, just locations. Yeah, just locations. So we use these items at locations. So we could use them here. Yes, good point, DT, and I should have said this earlier. We can 100% waste time if it matches. So if you look here, I'm sorry, it's really hard to see on this camera. There are 2 that have just time tokens, so we just waste time. And then there's only one that's potentially gives us another clue. So yes, we can 100% waste time. So that was a concern, but we haven't done that yet, thank goodness. So from here, we could use one of these pieces of paper. Normally, I think these are face down, but for the stream, it's just easier if I have them face up instead of having to flip them up and down. And we can match them that way, or we use one of the characters to investigate. Did you? That changes everything. And keep in mind, this is just a casual stream, no pressure, to show you a little bit about the game and see if you like it. Because this is only case 1. There's a tutorial. We're doing case 1, and then I think it goes up to like case 7, 6 or 7. So I didn't want to go too deep into it, and then, you know, maybe you wanted to play it, and I didn't want to ruin it for you. So we'll see how far we get into this one, because I know people are working and whatnot. But I'm very appreciative to have you all here doing it with me. So we could, in fact, maybe try one of the pieces of paper if you wanted to see. Yeah, multiple cases. So let me just sneak back here in the box. Yeah, so they come in like a package. Hopefully you can, maybe I'll put it under here. Yeah, so it gets a little pack and it has all the cards. It tells you how to set up the game. So yeah, lots of play in this, which is great. And normally, like, we're doing it on a stream, so it's a bit longer. It's about 45 minutes, but we're only reaching about an hour now, but I've been chatting and whatnot, and 45 minutes for a case. So, oh, Jedi, thanks for popping in. And yeah, thank you so much. And hopefully we'll see you again. Let me know if you get a chance to check out Elder Scrolls if I don't see you. So, thank you so much. Oh, Daniel, I've just been choosing willy-nilly. I wondered why you chose the paper. But we could, in essence, try the paper here. I don't know if it helps here, but the piece of paper here has a whole bunch of different animals on it. The horse is not on it, but we could, in essence, take one of these guys here. Sorry, one of these players here. So you want to try Clay? Yeah, poor Clay hasn't had a shining moment. I agree with you. So Clay is a little chatty. Looks like the singing frog a little bit. Line it up. And unfortunately, Clay is not helping us out today. Darn you, Clay. We gave you a chance, and look what you did. Look what you did. But it is very cute. I agree. Whoever did the art, it's chef's kiss. It's lovely. Actually, I think the company, it's ELO, which I believe is a French company. And let's see. The art is by, let's see, it's designed by Dave Neal and Clémentine Beauvais, and the art is by Bibou. I've never heard of this person, so there you go. It's so cute. Okay, that's okay. So we didn't have too much. So I think what we need to do now, because we only have 4 markers for time. So let's power through. Let's see where we can go. I think we need to revisit. So the papers we have here. What could we do with the papers? I'm just trying to think where we could put those together. What location would we go to put them together? Would that be at the fire place, or would it be back under here? This is the tricky part of it. I'm thinking. We also have, let me see what's on the roof there. Zip. We do have the roof as well. Okay, E.T., let's see what you got. Let me see. Let's see. So maybe we can go back to the grocer since the mayor mentioned the sugar. Good point. I like it. So let's go to the grocer. So we're going to go back to the grocer. We're going to use another time. Pull that up. Okay, so we're going to go to the grocer. And the grocer, I'm just going to read it again because not everybody was here when we did the first time. At the grocer's, we find no signs of Edna, not a trace of her teeth in the imported French cheeses she's fond of, not a paw print on the fudge on the counter. That doesn't mean anything. So now we're at the grocer. So here are that. So somebody asked a question about the envelopes. Those are just locked locations. So when you set up the case, it tells you locations that you can't visit. That's all. So those cards are just not available in the deck and you can't visit those locations. Okay, so what is this? 2 live and days in LA. They look so cute with their glassy eyes that it almost makes me feel better about my Coke bottle glasses. Aw, mine are really thick too, by the way. I just get them super thin, but they're, yeah, I feel you. But we're still cute with our glasses. Okay, so now that we went to the grocer, ET, you gotta bring it home now. So we've gone back to the grocer. So we have some options. We can use one of the characters here to reinvestigate, or we can use our pieces of paper to match with the card. So I know there's a bit of a delay, I apologize. But what do you all think? And then if we do with a character, who do we want to investigate the card? We have Cherrywood, who's really good at searching, Clay, who's persuasive with words, Calabash, which is a bit pushy and forceful, and Briar is more stealthy. Or we have our items. You want to do Cherrywood? Okay, let's do Cherrywood. Okay, so we did Cherrywood. Unfortunately, it does not align, so we don't get any clues at that location. That's okay. That's how we figure it out. So, perfect. That's totally fine. Now, to be fair, it doesn't say that you actually have to move. I just want to see here. It just says to choose an available location. Now, it does says you can revisit. So it doesn't say that you don't have to move, but I have a strong suspicion you have to go and then you can revisit that location again. So unfortunately, we didn't find anything there. We've got 3 more tokens left. Where do we want to go? We can plan ahead here to see. I think the grocer was good. It's just a matter of us finding which one. I think we need to go down that rabbit hole. Yeah, we have not investigated the rabbit hole, so let's give her. Let's do it. Let's do the rabbit hole. Do, 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 do. Gosh, I've been watching Nardwar. Canadians, actually even Americans or other people in the chat might know Nardwar. Such a good interviewer, by the way. Sorry, that's so random, but that's why I have doot 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 in my head. You know, if you know, you know. All right, here we go. So it's actually called the Warren. I called it a rabbit hole. Okay, here we go. I'm going to do a reading here. Beatrix is friends with Edna, says Cherrywood. She may have information. We scuttle down the burrow. Beatrix is drinking chamomile juice. I like that. Good morning, Beatrix, says Clay. Have you seen Edna recently? Edna? Recently? I shouldn't think so, replies Beatrix coldly. Have you not? I thought you two were close friends, says Cherrywood. We used to be, says Beatrix, sticking her nose up in the air in a haughty fashion, which is not easy to do when one's nose twitches all the time. But recently, she found a friend better to mingle with. Who? Says Cherrywood. I don't wish to say. It hurts too much. Furthermore, I'm not a gossip. I beg to differ. Okay, here's the card. So if you need me to hold it up here, I'll put it up here a little bit so you can see. Well, we got lots and lots of fun little clues that we could get here. Okay, so let's put that there. Now, keeping in mind, we have clues 3 and 13 already. And this gives us 4 and 7. So, Clay get in there? Yeah, we could totally get Clay in here. I think Clay is like the persuasive talker. So let's get Clay in. Oh. Yes! Sorry, that was very loud. We have a match. Clay is doing his talky, 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 talk. Yes, I like musicals. So that gives us clue number 4. I swear all the new people here are going to be like, I'm never coming back to this stream again. She's so weird. Versus the people who've seen me, they're like, this is Mandy normally. It's a lot. I know, it's a lot to take it. Okay, so let's do that. Zip. And we got a card here. So, hey, Game Rightus guy, thanks for popping in. Actually, I feel like we haven't seen each other much since Redfall, and I'm so sorry about that because that game was rough. But we're playing The Animals of Baker Street. So we did get an item, so number 4, and it says Beatrix's sob story, okay? Beatrix, darling, we're so sorry you feel this way. It must be difficult for you. Yes, Beatrice sniffles, and her eyes leak shiny tears. Does she think I'm not clever just because her new friend has great thoughts and can read? Can read, stutters Clay. Apart from humans, only one kind of animal can read. She's friends with a mole, says Briar. Not just any mole, Beatrix sobs. Edna is friends with the mistress of the vaults, Isabelle Queendom Brunard. And it's underlined in bold that. She takes Isabel shreds of books and paper she finds, and they talk merrily and drink root tea. Years of friendship, and I'm dumped for a mole. The moles always say they're better than the rest of us. Well, maybe they are right, and with one more sob, she retreats into the warren. Remember, the underlying text in the information you can use. Remember, the underlying text is the information you can use at locations. Aw, thanks, Tangy Poo. You're amazing too. Thanks for the support. So let me read the underlying text. Edna is friends with the mistress of the vaults, Isabelle Queendom Brunard. Okay, so it's just telling us that we have that information. So let's slide our little pals over here. Oh, we won't be able to see it there. We'll just do this. All right, so that happens. That goes back. we now have this here. So that was from Beatrix Story. We have a couple extra little things we can try. So that's what it's saying about the item. So Mistress of the Vaults, Isabel Queendom Brunard. I'm not really sure how that helps us at locations. It's saying it does. But let me just make sure that we're not missing anything. No, that's it. Yeah. Okay. No, that's what it says. So underlined text is information you can use at locations. I don't see how that one helps us really any, because those are all the cards we have, but that's it. Gamer Edis Guy, I've been filling the void playing catch up with the podcast. Well, the new one's coming out Wednesday. That's what I'll be editing after this. And yeah, it's a doozy. I think I was just a little off the rails there, but that's me most times. But it's a good one. It's fun. So thanks for listening. All right, so now we have another item to use at another location. So we've done the rabbit hole. We have to move somewhere else. Do we want to go back to the grocer? Do we want to go back to Sherlock's room? We do have 2 time little ticky-tickies left to see. And then we'll go from there. What do we think? What do we think? Okay. We need to find the vault, I guess. Maybe it's somewhere we didn't go yet. And that's a good point. So right now, the only 2 places that we have not yet visited on the board are here. So it's another kind of adjacent to the sewer. And we also have the roof, which we haven't been to as well. So that's a really good point. It totally could be there. So do you all want to go to the roof, or do you want to go to the adjacent sewer? I think David has left the chat, so I've seen no more sewer talk from him. So what do y'all think? I'll give you a minute to think about it, where we want to go. Because, I mean, I guess we could technically go to both, but which one do we want to go to first? The roof or the sewer, adjacent sewer? All right, here we go. Okay, what are they calling it? The vault. Oh! You know, E.T., you are very wise, because guess what it's called? I keep saying the sewer. It is the vault. Look at you go. Listen, I'm jealous. I like miss these little nuances, which, you know, very helpful in a game like this, so much appreciated. So we are, let's just push that out of the way. I'll put that up here. We can come back to those. We are going to the vault. Okay. Here we go. So the vaults. We don't often go down to the vaults, which smell of mushroom, moldy roots, and philosophical mumbo-jumbo. Portraits of eminent moles line the walls. What are you lowly ground people doing here, says Porter the Mole, pensively chewing on a worm. Good day, sir, Clay mumbles. Edna the Mouse has vanished, and we thought... We have no interest in mice here. We only care about deep thoughts, which mice cannot have, for their brains are veritably minuscule. Cherry was little eyes filled with tears and Calabashes with anger. You moles always think you're cleverer than all other animals, she says. We are, replies Porter, and unless you have business here, you must depart. Oh, goodness. Let's see what's the chat saying here. Gamer Edis Guy, let me be the first to say you're an honorary solo gamer despite all your claims otherwise. I appreciate that. You know what it is? I think I just like that, like, I have a chat like this today where people are interacting, we're having a chat, it's casual, like, it's not stressful. If I have to sit here, and maybe being a teacher stuff, I'd want it to be perfect if I had to do a teach, and I think that's where I might be a little more stressed, but here, like, it's just chill, it's cool, and we're doing it together, and that's probably why I play these types of games solo as well, because we can all enjoy them together. So very nice words. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. All right. So E.T., I hope you haven't left yet, or anybody else. We have now hit the vaults. So we could potentially get clue number 1. And okay, so yeah, I love that we're working together in the chat. This is great. So we could use one of the items here. And sorry, let me, I'm running out of room apparently. You know what I might do? Let's do this. We'll put that there. Let's put our little items over here. So they're just a bit easier to see. Okay, so those are the items we have. Okay. And then let's push our little characters over. These are our characters. So at this location now, we can use a character or we can use an item. Hi, Board Game Bree. I know who that is. Thanks for popping in. It's good to see you. we'll have to do a catch up when I see you at Gen Con. So for those, if it's, and I apologize if this is incorrect, Bree was someone that I spoke to often at Lucky Duck Games, and I think Bree is on to doing different things. So if I'm incorrect, please let me know, or if I'm correct, let me know. It is you. Perfect. I'm glad you could pop in. Okay. So okay, ET. So let's see. Each saying we should match Beatrix's story to the vault. Good idea. So let's take Beatrix's story, which is here. We're going to go to the vault. And let's see if it's a match. That looks like a match to me. Number 1. Oh, woof. I know who I need to play these games with. There's some people in the chat here that are killing it. All right. So we have a clue. So we have the vaults, which is good because our timing is a little rough going on here. So did I put, oh, I forgot to move us actually. We should have been here and here. Okay, here we go. Yes, we will catch up at Gen Con. I'm doing work with Gen Con, so for those who are attending, find me. I'm doing some working on their inclusive board, so diversity and inclusion board. So we're going to be there having fun playing games. Just make sure everybody's feeling welcome and, you know, doing the thing. So if you see me, hey, Mandy, we talked online. Let's play a game together. Absolutely. Okay. Clay smiles his biggest smile and says to the porter, Beatrix the bunny told us that your mistress, Isabel Queendom Brunard, is friends with Edna. Have you seen her recently? A small old grayish mouse. ... All mice look the same to me. I don't tend to remember them at all. For goodness sake, Calabash exclaims, just let us talk to Isabel. Please, says Clay, please. The mistress is very busy. She will only see you if you have something of scholarly interest from the world of humans for her perusal. So remember, it says a new location card for location, and one that has the same name always replaces the old one. So now, this card here becomes the vault. The other one goes away. Okay, so we now discard the old vault card, which is this one. So that's gone. We'll just pop that over there. So technically, this is our vault card that would hit in here. Okay, so this is great. We've used this, and that hit us with that. So I think this item is no longer usable. There we go. Well, it's here in case. That's not true. It can still stay there. Okay, that was really good. So we definitely got some information there. We got a new location. Here's where it gets dire. So we have 1 token left. And what do we want to do with that time? And I'll tell you what happens after that, whether we determine to continue this today or I could do it another day, or I could just explain what happens. That's totally fine too. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to finish it anyway. So we'll see. But I'm happy to continue if people have time. If not, we'll just go, I'll walk you through what ends up happening. So we have 1 time token left, which means we gotta go somewhere to investigate, and we have our items. So while I'm quickly checking to see what happens, let me know. Okay. 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 All right. So we have the 1 time token left, and then if we don't kind of think we can solve this or whatever, then I have to read the event card and things happen. Basically, there's a little bit more time to do things. So I think, I just want to see what it says here for this event card. Yeah, okay. So we only do that if we have to take a time token and there are none left. So we do have 1 more to use, and then we'll see what happens from there. Cherrywood's item looks like it will match the vault. Okay, so it's interesting in the rules. It doesn't say that you have to move in the game. This is always one of those things where I feel like it needs to be super clear. But it just says to choose an available location on the board. It does say to move to. So it does indicate that we have to move to a different location. It doesn't explicitly say that, but it does say move to. So I don't think we can stay at the vault, which is what I want to do because it seems like that makes more sense. Okay, so seems like we need to find an item from a human to impress the mole. Agreed. I thought maybe it might be like this paper that we had with some of the drawings on it, but it might be more substantial than that. So the only places that we have not visited is the roof. Potentially a bird could have taken some paper up there, but if you're saying a human, the only places that would have a human would be Sherlock's office, the grocer, or the apothecary. those are kind of like the common places. So we only have one time token left, so I don't think it's that big of a deal if we revisit and it doesn't work. We can see what happens at the event, and then we'll determine what we want to do from there. Hey, the blood in the... Oh, yes, because the leeches were like blood, human blood. I'm not mad at this idea. Let's go to the grocer. Grocer is popular. I feel like maybe we just weren't doing the things, but we're there now. So let's go to the grocer. I see where you were going. I'm with you. I'm with you. And yes, everybody, I am like this on a regular basis, not just for streams. Okay, so the grocer. And was it the grocer? Sorry, it was the apothecary. Apothecary, excuse me. Why would there be human blood at the grocer? Wow, I'm really stuck on the grocer. That's disgusting. Apparently I've been watching too many vampire shows. I meant the apothecary. Sorry, everybody. OMG. You know what I meant. Okay, here we go. Oh, goodness, I'm pulling wrong cards here. 1 second. Apothecary. There we go. Apothecary. Okie dokie. Here we go. So I'm just going to quickly read it again. The shop is eerily silent. Perhaps no human is ill at this time of day. In a jar on the counter, the leeches are lazily sucking on the glass. Have you seen Edna in here recently? Clay asked, leeches popping their heads into the water. Blood, the leeches reply. Human blood. And that's where we got that. So look at this. These are hairs from Edna's back, grayish and short. She must have been here in the last few days. So... Okay, right, this guy, stop trying to bring Redfall in the game. Yeah, so for those who don't know, I really did try to push Redfall and do a few streams of it, and there are vampires, and I really wanted to like that game, but they've got some work to do. It could be there, but yeah, but you're right, Game Rights guy, I'm definitely doing that. Okay, so we have the apothecary. Okay, so we've got one time token left, which I've used, and so what do we want to connect with this here? Do we want to use a character or do we want to use one of our items? So while you're thinking, I'm just going to read here what Tanjipu says. Speaking of vampires, I'm expecting my Vampires Masquerade Chapters board game today. Ooh, yes. You're going to have to put some notes about that on socials or whatever. I'm curious to see. That sounds super cool. I love vampire anything. So yes. So very cool. Hello, Tweeja. So I'm Mandy with an I. Tweet is Mandy with a Y, and she also lives in Canada, in Eastern Canada. We don't live in the same city, but close. Hello. And just so you know, I didn't forget you. I've just been overwhelmed. And the stream, I was even late for this. So I'm so glad you are able to come and say hi. Good to see you. Yay. We're trying to solve a mystery. Okay, let's be clear. I'm not trying to solve a mystery. The chat is doing the mystery because they're doing so awesome. I managed to waste all our time, but they are amazing. So please feel free to jump in if you have time. If not, that's okay too. We're determining how we want to test out the apothecary. So I think we want to try and get evidence that for something human. So I know E.T. was in there, and I know Tanjipu and a few other people have been thrown out some really good ideas here. So, oh, and I got a new dog. That's the reason. And it's a dog that was given away to us because they couldn't take care of it any longer. Totally fine. I'm not here to shame them at all. And he has special needs. So he has epilepsy, which is fine, just some medication. But I also have 2 other dogs that are older. So they've just been taking him a lot of time. I have a new job that's been a little stressful. So lots going on. But I'm glad I jumped into a stream because it's been making me feel a little bit better. So it's really cool. So I appreciate everybody that's here. I love it. But yes, we're going to talk after because yes, I need to know things. Okay, so now we have our apothecary. We have no time left, so we really got to make this one count. These are the items we have. We have the story from Beatrix. But to be fair, now that I realize it, this actually just confirms to us something. So clue 13, we already have. This is clue 13. Just like, I don't want to choose. No. And here's the thing. Clue 13, we already have. And that's all that's going to give us here is that. So, I mean, we can use a different character. It's almost like, I don't want to say it's not a wasted turn, but it's something that we don't have to stress too much about because we already have clue 13, which is what we're going to get here anyway. So we could, in essence, use another clue just to see, or we can use a character. Yeah, we can match a character with, no, characters with items won't work because they have the same base. So if you notice, they have the same bottom as the item. So they're meant to be with locations in this particular case. So no, unfortunately not. But the character can be matched to a location. So yeah. So that's a good question. So yeah, so no, we cannot match characters with items because they have the same base. So for here, it's either a character or an item that has to be matched. In this case, it almost doesn't matter because we have clue 13. So this isn't actually going to tell us anything at all. I just realized that as we pulled it up. So that's okay. We know this now. So going here, which I think a human blood was really smart, by the way, because I forgot. But in this case, even if we did match, we would have to put a time token out that we don't have. So that means, I could put one of these. It won't matter, is what I'm trying to say, because we have clue 13. So I'm actually just going to put this away. And because we would have needed to add a time token in this case if we matched, we go to the event. So I'm just going to read the event, okay? And we'll determine what we want to do from there. So it says dusk. If you need to take a time token from the clock, including when you want to visit another location, and there are no tokens left, you must read this card. We are at that point. So it says, darkness falls and Edna is still nowhere to be found. She must be dead by now, says Calabash, and Cherrywood squeaks with despair. She can't be, Cherrywood protests. She might be very scared and probably very hungry, and I'm sure she is alive, and we can find her. I like this. You didn't find Edna before dusk. However, you can continue to play until you find her. Just don't worry about time tokens anymore. Remember, you can get help if you need it by flipping the case title card. So, this is where I'm going to ask chat. Do we want to continue? And we'll give ourselves maybe like 15 minutes because I know people have things to do. Or I can just tell you what happens. Or we also have a clue, so that's, I guess, part of the continue, so that can help us continue and get a bit more information. So that's what's happening in case one. So I'll give the chat option. So our choices are continue. We'll give it to about like 10 or 15 minutes to continue because I know people are busy during the day. Or I can just tell you what happens. I know what I want to do, but I'm off today, and I know not everybody's off today. So yeah, so Game Artist Guy, I know you popped in a bit later. Time tokens are to help you solve the case on time, and if you run out, you can still solve without pressure in case one. When you get to some of the other cases, I've played up to case 4, the board actually will flip over. So on the other side, the board looks just like this, but it's dark. And it'll tell you to flip the board, and then you're going to alter some things. But the cards will tell you. In case 1, it keeps it fairly straightforward and lets you kind of just go until you can guess. So, okay, so we got a couple things here. So we have Lex Retro, tell us in capital. Okay, Tangies, I'm off today too. And, oh, okay, well, people are off. So Lex Retro, if you're okay to give us a few more minutes, we're gonna try and play it out. And I can also read us a clue to kind of help guide us along. I think definitely had I not screwed us up in the beginning, we might have solved it. But it took us on a little bit of a roller coaster there. So let's see if we can push through. Okay, so the dusk event kind of doesn't really matter because it's just saying play till you sort it out. So no, it doesn't really matter for these tokens. So to avoid clutter, I'm just going to take the time tokens off. But yes, that's a good question, Game Artist Guy, from earlier. Not all cases are like that. Some of them will actually have like a hard stop and say no, like you have to either start over or it'll give you another option. Okay. There we go. So these are still locked because we don't have cards for this case. I approve of this coziness. Tuija, I have no idea what's going on. Aw, so quick recap. I'll try and do this in like a minute. We're trying to solve the mystery of Edna, the missing mouse. The animals, which are all here, these characters here, all have special abilities that will help us at going to the location. So Clay can, the gift of gabs are persuasive. Cherrywood is really good at searching things. Calabash is like, oh, the boss, like, tell me all the things. And Briar is stealthy. So when we go to these locations, you pick a location. So if we went to, let's say, the vault, for example, we would choose the vault. We would go to the vault, which I think is where we do want to go. And then you either choose an item that we found on a previous turn or a character. And when you flip them over, they have bases that will kind of match those will match these. And you're trying to match them in order to gain clues from here, which will help you solve the case. So I know that was kind of quick, but give us a little bit of an idea. Okay, so we have some time. Quick. So now, yeah, I think you would like it. It's super cute. Next time we meet up, we can play it because I've gotten to case 3, but as you can see, I'm obviously not very good at it. So we can play it again. Okay, so I know you all wanted to go back to the vaults. Someone was saying that. I don't know if that was Tangy Poo or ET, who have been super, super awesome in helping me out here. And also Lex Retro, thanks for jumping in too. So I do have the new vault location here. Now, the only thing it can give us is clue 2, if we want. Or if you all want, I can read a clue, and it says if you are stuck throughout, these hints will help you get one that helps you, then you just flip over and continue. So do we want a clue, or do we want to try using something here, maybe like a piece of paper or something, to appease the queen? What do we think? I'll give you a minute to like process that. I know that was a lot, but I am happy to read us a clue as well if we need it. I'm just trying to see how many. There are a few. All right. Let me put that back up here until we decide. I know we wanted to go to the vault, so. Okay, so we want to do Briar's item. Okay, so we have Briar's piece of paper, which is this one. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, so the right paper. Yeah, so we'll try this one. I mean, to be fair, we can try all of them, but let's try this one first. I think you're right. I think. I mean, I could be wrong too. Yes! Clue number 2. See, we knew it was the vault. It was just getting back there. So clue 2. Okay, the vault. Oh my gosh, there's another vault. Like, look, there's another vault location. What? The porter throws a squinty look at the picture, grunts, and lets us pass. Mistress Isabel's study is on the 3rd floor, but we don't get to that door because another mole appears, a chubby squat mole staring at our drawing with interest. Sorry, Mr. Sir Dr. Professor Mole, says Clay. We need to get past. I'm afraid to talk to your mistress, Isabel. The name is Moltar Board, says the mole, and I'm the head scholar, so I'll have this paper if you don't mind. We do mind, says Calabash. It's for her. Give me that paper, you ill-behaved, creepy ceiling dweller, Moltar shouts, and then get out of here. Moltar blocks the tunnel, refusing to let anyone pass. You cannot leave, you must act. OMG. So these are the new vaults. So apparently we're stuck here. We're in the vaults. Like, that's just a thing. So this vault we're going to just kind of hang on to over here. So we have to act. So, I mean, is this Calabash's time to, like, I don't know. So Calabash, for those who weren't here, we used the piece of paper. That got us through to the second vault. Okay, yes. So Calabash is like the bouncer here. So we're going to use Calabash. Sweet. I hope this is right. I'm really wanting to use Calabash. Okay. Yes. Clue number 9. Okay. We got another clue. See, I think we would have done it. I just had shenanigans earlier, so we're fine. All right. Clue 9. Clue 9. I'm so excited right now. I can't even at the moment. Okay. Okay. Oh my gosh, it's another vault. Look, it's another vault. Okay. Nobody calls me an ill-behaved, creepy ceiling dweller and gets away alive, hisses Calabash. That's the spirit, says Clay. Don't really kill him, Calabash. Please, pleads Cherrywood. All right, says Calabash. I shall simply ensure we get past. Hello, Revium Faldi. Thanks for subscribing. Much appreciated. I like the little dancing rabbit. Boop, boop, boop. And in a hairy spike storm of spider legs and shiny eyes, Calabash rolls over Moltar Board, pins him down to the earth, and we squeeze past to reach the door of Isabel's study. The door opens, and Isabel Queendom Brunard stares at us, while Moltar Board breaks free of Calabash and rushes off down a tunnel. Who are you? Isabel asks. Outsiders are only permitted an audience with me if they bring me something of interest. Okay, so now we have the new vault here. Well, let's put that there. Okay. Calabash has done her job. I like it a lot. So, oh my gosh. Now it's like, okay, so I mean, at this point, time tokens, it doesn't really matter because we're just chugging along trying to solve the mystery now. There's a little scratchy here, which I guess just means we get nothing. Actually, I should probably see what that symbol is. I don't think I've seen that one before. So what should we do? Okay, oh, here we go. So if we get the scratchy symbol, it says, you've annoyed someone and must leave the location without using any cards. However, you may come back to it later. So we don't want to annoy them, but there's that. Oh, goodness. All right, let's take a look here. All right. Yes, this is very interesting, but I'm just not sure what to give her. Like, so we give her the paper? Like, I'm thinking maybe give her the paper because, I don't know. Because that's what we were trying to give her. That's what we said, right? Yeah, the paper. Okay, cool. I thought so. I'm like, is that supposed to be a trick question? I wasn't sure. So let's show at the vaults the paper. And then the paper is indeed correct. We haven't annoyed her. It's like slightly off, so it's number 8. Good job. I like it. Sorry, if you all came in just now, it's going to be like a flurry of things happening because we're closing in on the case. Okay, so this is giving us more stuff. It's not a location, just more information. The vaults. We do have something of interest, Briar chirps. We're here because Edna the mouse has disappeared, and we think she was coming to visit you yesterday. How worrying, says Isabel. We are indeed acquaintances, I suppose. Edna brings me scraps of paper she finds in Sherlock's room. Of course, poor Edna cannot read anything, but I am her eyes and brain. I interpret the word of the humans for her furry little ears. Interpret that, then, says Calabash. Isabel casts her eyes over the strange picture. Why, it is indeed very interesting. So interesting, in fact, the Moltar board attempted to take it, says Clay. He did? Replies Isabel. He knows I like to see all things we acquire from the human world. Let's go to his study. I want to hear what he has to say about this. Okay, now it's telling us to take card 11. Oh, I think we're on a roll. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Okay, here we go. So we got another one, but this is now another location. Moltar board study is more cluttered than a teenage magpie's nest. Amidst scrolls of paper, pins, buttons, thimbles, and chewed up worms, and bits of bone, stands the scholar looking displeased to see us. These odd little intruders told me you attempted to steal this paper from them, says Isabel. Why did you do that? I just thought you might want to examine its first mistress, Moltar grumbles. You know perfectly well I want to examine such things myself, and immediately, says Isabel. What are you hiding from me? Nothing, mistress, he replies, but his tiny eyes twitch, casting glances here and there across the messy chamber. Hello, Legends GM. Thanks for popping in. Nice to see you. We're just finishing up a mystery. We're on a roll. I think we're going to do it. So let's take the paper. We'll just put that up here. This is okay. So now we have another vault. So we've determined the room. Yes, he's like super sus, super suspicious. I agree. So now, I mean, time doesn't matter. We do have a clue 7 here. I mean, I could just take 7, but it's so much fun trying to figure out like what we should do. So for clue 7 here, do we want to get someone to forcefully? Do we want someone to get search for it? So Cherrywood's really good at searching. Or do we want Calabash to be like, hey, listen up, buddy. Just like give us the stuff. What do we think? Or we also have papers we can do. This is tricky. His tiny eyes classing. Yeah, so there's definitely something in this room to look for. So I don't know if we want to use force or do we want to use somebody to search for it. Clay. So Clay is persuasive. So I'll read his description here quickly. Clay has a way with words and can be very persuasive. When he's not talking, he's daydreaming about eating fat flies or swimming in a pool. So, yeah, Cherrywood is what I'm kind of gearing toward because Cherrywood is very good at searching locations and finding things others might miss. So, let's try that. I mean, it can't hurt, right, if it's wrong. So, let's try that. Well, let's do that. Hold on here. There we go. And it is indeed Cherrywood. So, Cherrywood is number 7 because Cherrywood's good at finding all the things, right? Y'all are quick. Dang. This is great. Okay. Confession time! Sorry, we did get there eventually. So let me just put this away here so it's not as messy. And it doesn't look as distracting. Okay, here we go, here we go. Moltar's confession. Dun dun dun! Yes, yes, Bree. Teamwork makes the dream work. Oh, you all are so good. Okay, I'm gonna read the confession. I know I'm running a little over on time, but what's Legend saying? I might need to get this game. Almost finished Detective Charlie, which is an animal mystery game. Making notes. I'm liking the animal themes. Definitely here for it. Okay, let me read the confession. So, Moltar's confession. Cherrywood presses a thimble, a matchbox opens, and papers fall out. Take card 6, which I think we might already. No, it's here. Whoops. Take card 6. Oh, this is card 6. The Tree of Life. What? All right, let's put the Tree of Life over here so we can see it as I read said confession. Okay, there we go. Right there. Okay. Heaven, says Isabel. It's the Tree of Life, a human-made portrait of relations between different animals. I have heard of it, but never seen it. Look, I think it means all animals are related, like cousins. That's a problem, says Briar, considering we regularly eat each other. Moltar, shouts Isabel. Why did you keep this from me? You are ruining our ancient traditions by insisting on sharing knowledge with all the stupid animals, Moltar snarls. So Edna brought that piece of picture for Isabel, says Briar, and you took it. Yes, and then I told her Isabel was down there. I sent her to the rats. We gasp. If Edna went that way, who knows what fate might have befallen her. Now it says you are close to finding Edna. You do not need to use a time token to visit Ratmere. So, at the end of the day, we would go to Ratmere. Oops, wrong one. Which we know that a confession has been made. Ratmere is here. Okay, we've got our item here. So we got that, and we also had this paper, which we saw from earlier. So I think that is what's supposed to look like. There we go. And this is where it's saying we're supposed to go to Ratmere, and then from here, I think we're supposed to investigate exactly what has happened. So from there, we would take either item or we would take there. So I can read what happens, or I can actually just take us down to Ratmere or Ratmere. I'll let you know. You can let me know what you'd like to do. Or I can just read the conclusion, because I think we have a sense of what's happening at this point. But Ratmere is where we would be heading. What do y'all want to do? Shall we continue with this, or do you want me to read the conclusion? Because I think we kind of know where it's going, but I'm happy to do whatever you all would like, because I have time today. I'll give you a minute. I know it takes a minute to catch up. More. Hey, wow, I was going to say something. I'm like, yeah, that would definitely sound really inappropriate. So I am here for us to do all the things. So from here, we are at Ratmere. So what do we want to do at Ratmere? So this is where we have, in order to get a clue, which is clue 10, which I'm assuming would lead us there. What's going to give us clue 10? So we can either use clues that we had from before. Let me just grab my pieces of paper. We don't need this anymore because we're out of time anyway. So we have our papers and clues here. Okay, or we can use a character to investigate. We definitely need to hang out more. For sure. I'm like wild, so not wild. I'm actually like super not wild, but I love being on stream with everybody, so it's so fun for sure. And Legends, yeah, eating corned beef, hash eggs, and rice while eating. That sounds actually super good. I'm not gonna lie. I'm so hungry thinking about it because I haven't eaten yet. It sounds good. And ET, is there a rat on one of the paper? Let's take a look. Yes, there is. Here, I'll show you. It's on this one here. Sorry, it might be a little out of focus there. There we go. So there is a rat there. So do you think we should use that one to investigate it? I'm totally down to do that if you'd like to. And while you're mulling it over, Bree, you're playing Diablo? Bree, hello, so am I. My character's almost at level 70. I'm playing a necromancer, and I have a Discord chat that I run with a very small group of people. That if anyone wants to play, they can jump in, and so yeah, I'll hook you up with that. Everyone's really cool. You know, I like to keep it nice and fun. You're yeah, I play a lot. It's disturbing. But we can help you. And we need a barbarian. Nobody's a barbarian in our little group there, so we could use the help. So yeah, I'll send it to you. Okay, I digress. I'm sorry. Now you got me on Diablo chat, and that's a whole other thing. Oh my goodness, we'll be here forever because of me. Okay, so that's cool. So if you want, we can definitely take this. I mean, no harm for us to do it. So ET was saying to use potentially, what I'm guessing here, to use this to check the location. So let's try it. If not, not a big deal. Which is interesting because it doesn't actually, oh, it does line, oh yeah, so this one lines up like this. It's different. Or is it like, yeah, it's like this. So this one does not line up there, unfortunately. Yeah, don't push the Diablo button. If you're listening to the podcast, you'll know I'm out of control. So I see where you're going with this item, though. That totally makes sense. That one, it didn't. Now I'm wondering if it's on this one. It's not. Okay, so none of those papers are really doing anything for us here. So we could use a person to investigate at this point. So I checked a couple of the piece of papers. They didn't work. Ratmeyer. So I think when we were down here, did we use somebody pushy? I can't remember. Somebody else must have a better memory than I do. But we maybe need a character here to tell us more? I'm not sure. What are we thinking? Because I checked 2 pieces of paper. They didn't fit. I didn't check this paper. And I didn't check Beatrice's story. Hello, Quaid Rain. Thanks for popping in. We're just finishing up a mystery. And I gotta say, there's been some ETs like on a roll with me, Tangipu, a few people. So I see Time Roller. Hello. So this is where we're at. We need clue number 10. Who can get us clue number 10? I tried a couple of the pieces of paper. It's not doing a thing for me here. I actually don't really know what to do here. It seems like, I'm actually a little stuck. Calabash? I thought we used Calabash. Does the third paper match? Let me check. So this is the third paper. It does not. So that's the paper that has really nothing on it. That one does not match. We tried this one, which I just wanted to see for fun. That does not match. And then I checked the paper which I thought would match. There's a little marker here to let me know. And that one doesn't really match, which I thought was weird. So I thought we tried Calabash when we came here before, and that didn't really work out, but I could be wrong about that. But let's try clay. And then we can... So clay, unfortunately, does not match. That's okay. I believe we tried Calabash the last time, but I could be wrong. My memory is so terrible. And Calabash also does not match. So now we've since tried Calabash, we've tried clay. The only 2 we have not tried are Briar, who's like stealthy, and Cherrywood, who's good at searching the location. And I mean, at this point, we can really just try all the things and see, because we're going to take clue 10 anyway. So I'm just curious at this point. It's just guessing at this point. So definitely not that. So Cherrywood did not help us. And, well, it's funny because none of these seem to match. So it must be this. I think it's this. I think this marker they put here was very confusing because none of these match. So I think ET's initial guess was right. It looks like it's showing the end should be marked here. See how it does that? But that's obviously not clear. It should probably be like this. So yeah, I've tried them all. They all don't match for some reason. So we're going to take card 10. I have a feeling this is just not aligned properly. So, or maybe I missed something. So we'll do 10. Oh yes, I'm wearing a Rose Gauntlet shirt. So Rose Gauntlet, really cool publisher that I've worked with, and they do some really great games like Keystone. So if you haven't checked them out, you totally should. it. All right, clue 10. So this is another location, and then it says, rats everywhere, moist breath, clickety nails, swishy tails. We know our friend is here, says Cherrywood. The moles told us she came this way. Tell the truth. A big scruffy rat snorts. We have her, yes, but we are keeping her. She's a spy. She's not a spy, says Calabash. She's the bedsheet lady. She's a friend of the moles, the rat retorts. They hate us. They look down on us. They think they're brilliant, but they're reading and stealing human things for erudition. To them, we are monsters. Things may be different soon, says Clay. Some moles are changing their minds. I don't believe a word of it. Why would the moles change their tune now? So, we've gone to the Ratmire, and then we've actually now replaced it with another Ratmire location. And then from here, it would give us clue 5. We only have 2 clues left at this point. So let's push through, see if we can do it. So the Ratmire location. I don't believe it. Why would the moles change their tune now? So at this point, we have, let's see if we have any of these. So we have our scraps of paper, which we've kind of, let me put here. Or we still have someone that we could, in fact, send there to get the information. I mean, at this point, it'd be curious to see if any of these are going to match, but I definitely think this one was a bit off. Oh, okay, I see what they did. It's halfway in the page. Okay. Huh. Interesting. Anyway. Yeah, I think the Tree of Life. Agreed. So I'll tell you what was confusing me. So you see how there's like a line here? Usually you have to line that up with the edge of the card, but if you notice, it's in the middle of the card. So this is why it threw me off. So this is why I was like, oh, but yes, here, see? Tree of Life. So I think on the last card, I think it was actually Cherrywood. I just might have been a little off on placing it. And yeah, and I think it's this. So, oh! Oh, that's why that wasn't making sense. See what I mean? I missed those. So what E.T.'s saying, which is so smart, it's actually, because remember how I had them pushed together? One card. So the 2 cards become 1. You see, this is why I play these with a group, but we're still having fun. So this is actually, you are 100% right. That's exactly what it becomes. It becomes 1 card. Oh, that's so good. So it does, in fact, match this one. So we'll just do this and do this, but it does match. I have it here. There we go. Hopefully you can see that. Right? That's so cool. I'm not instilling faith in anyone here, so I'm glad you're still enjoying the game regardless of where I'm heading. Number 5. I swear, I'm not terrible at all board games. Okay, so we have another location, but it's just a location for me to read, okay? Literally, we're almost there. Thanks for your patience. Rats and moles are related, says Briar. We're cousins with all other animals. Even humans? Cherrywood squeaks. Can you believe it? The moles are not exceptional animals. Isabel saw this picture and she wants everyone to know. Edna's not a spy for the mole, says Clay. Truly, she just got lost. The rats gather in the slime, throwing suspicious glances at the picture. Finally, the scruffy leader scuttles off. When he comes back, he is followed by a very, very wet, very disheveled, very distressed-looking Edna, shouts Cherrywood. Take her, hisses the rat. But if you are lying about the moles, we will not forget it. As teeth and claws glisten in the dark, we make a hasty exit. You have saved Edna! Read the conclusion in the case book. Yay! Good job, chat. We got there. I love it. Oh, that was so good. Okay, quickly, let me read the conclusion, then we can have a little chat. All right, conclusion. It requires more than 1 thimble of daisy stew to get poor Edna to stop shaking. We tuck her into a fresh bed made from strips of hessian and lamb's wool and a ripped-up love letter that a young lady threw into the street earlier today. Edna is rather ruffled. They kept me in the dark for weeks. Only one night, Edna, says Clay. Still, yes, it does sound upsetting. There are no windows and no doilies on the table, and oh, the bed! No sheets at all, but pebbles and scraps of metal. They questioned me, pestered me. What do you know about the moles? Why did they send you here? I only said they were kind and intelligent and far beyond any other animal's capacity for thought and elegance. Ugh, that's not true, Calabash grunts. They're like all of us, behind their snobby pale noses and tiny eyes. Let's stop feeling like we're nothing. We can be as clever as moles and as clever as humans may be. As clever as Toby, adds Cherrywood. Humph. We'll see about that, says Toby, who's watching us from a hole in the floorboards, his giant eyes like the moon in the sky. Regardless, says Clay, every animal in the neighborhood now knows about this discovery. Moltar Board's plan has failed. I saw him with a little bundle on his shoulder, looking for another molehill after being exiled from this one, Cherrywood squeaks. I was almost moved to tears. Almost. I wonder, says Briar thoughtfully. I wonder if maybe we're as clever as Sherlock. There are a few moments of stunned silence. Could that really ever be true? Well, says Clay, at the very least, that's the second case we've solved now. And with a renewed faith in our own cleverness, we're willing to wager it will not be our last. Yay! Da, 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 da. Little dance for us. That was so great. Oh, thanks, ET. As for those who just jumped in, I love reading. I love doing solo RPGs. So, the creative writing, and I'm a teacher. So you get to learn how to do teacher voices, I guess. And those who have kids, I'm sure, do the exact same thing. So we solved it. It took a little while. I'm sorry. It took us off track a bit, but y'all got me back on and we did it. So let me go back to the other screen so we can have a little chat. That was so good. I had so much fun. I know it's solo, but y'all help me. So solo-ish. We'll go with that because I might have lost that case a long time ago if it wasn't for all of you. So that was super fun, and I'm so glad that we all got to play it together. So hopefully some of you will check it out if that's something that you like. So that's the cover at the back there, The Animals of Baker Street, and it's Yellow Games, and I think it came out a little while ago because I've had it on my shelf. I reviewed it on the podcast, the Salt and Sass podcast, a while ago, but I wanted to do a play with everybody so you could actually see it because I feel talking about it and playing it doesn't quite connect. And when you see it, you're like, oh, the story, and you really get into it. And the art's super cute, and it does get progressively a little more difficult, but still something you can play with your family. So I'm here for it. So yeah, so thank you so much for that. I really appreciate you helping me out, and hopefully if you all are like, these streams are not horrible, I might continue doing them going forward. So if you all think this is fun or there's a game potentially you want to see, I can't guarantee that I have it, but I do receive review copies from publishers. So if it is one I can get my hands on, or one that I own because I've purchased, I'm very happy to show that with you. So let's take a look at the chat. That was fun. The line matching reminds me of 5 Minute Mystery without the real time element. Oh, real time stresses me out, but I like the mystery part of it. So 5 Minute Mystery. I'm going to look it up because I actually don't know it. Let me write it down. There are a few good suggestions in this chat here. So let me write it down. 5 Minute Mystery. Oh, yes. I also have to look up. Is it Lucas the Spider? Lucas the Spider. There was something else in the chat someone told me to check. Oh, yeah. Aeon's Pass. Okay. I don't just say it. I legitimately am going to go look these things up. So, Detective Charlie. This is a thing. Okay. Perfect. Gameritis guy. I wish I was there from the start with more context, but still enjoyable. I know, I'm sorry, and I usually started around 12, but I'm supposed to go out a bit later, and I had to take the dog for walks, so I was like, I'll start a bit earlier today, but y'all let me know, is 12 Eastern time better? I prefer to start at 12, because that's my lunchtime, but let me know if that time works for a lot of you, because I think we all had a really good time, and I'd love to see you all back here again. That'd be so cool. And yes, Quaid Rain, I don't know if you caught that part of the conversation. I have learned now about Lucas the Spider, who I'm going to go look and see who that is, because I don't know who that is. So apparently Lucas the Spider is adorable, and I need to check it out. For those of you who do require closed captioning, I'm so sorry. I tried to do it this stream. Whatever I'm using is not picking up, so I hope to have that fixed for next time. So I can see that it's working on this screen, but it's not translating onto the stream. So that is something I will sort out for next time. So yeah, so if there's a game you want to see, send it to saltandsassgames at gmail.com. And let me know too if you prefer the 12 o'clock time. It'll probably be on a Friday. Today was just like a one-off on a Monday, but it'll be probably on a Friday, and we'll do a little stream, probably like within an hour and a half, because I am off during that time, and I love the contribution. And this Wednesday, we're streaming with James Hudson from Druid City Games. We're going to be doing Banner Festival, Tidal Blades Banner Festival, and we'll be doing that on TTS, so Tabletop Simulator. So that'll be on Twitch at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Sorry, I'm on Eastern time, everybody. And that'll be a stream that we'll be doing, having a little chat. And for those who don't know, Druid City Games sponsors the podcast, so we'll have a little chat about that as well. So yeah, so I think that's where we'll end it for today. I hope you all have a super awesome, wonderful day. Yeah. So okay, yes, Bree, you would know because Bree, you're the one who sent me a copy of this game there, so I really appreciate it. Who can we raid? Yes, I'm very bad at this sort of thing. Don't laugh, everyone. I'm so terrible at it. Let's see. Who can we raid? Who's up that we can be like, hey, yes, thank you so much for popping in. Let's do a raid on someone that we know. Is anybody online that you all think we should raid? Everybody's offline. Well, everybody offline that I know is offline. Oh, okay. I was gonna send somebody there, but unfortunately, I don't have anybody on my line there to send them to. So next time, we'll hope that someone's online. But that's it. So thanks, everybody. Have a super awesome day. And yeah, we'll talk soon. Thanks so much for joining me today. Okay. Bye, everybody.